Hello everyone. Today I'd like to talk about a scientist that is very familiar to all of us, Marie Curie. You may have seen her in your textbooks, knowing that she discovered radium and won the Nobel Prize twice. But you might not know that her life was far more difficult and exciting than what is written in the textbooks. Today, let's use plain language to go through the life of this great woman from beginning to end. Madame Curie was originally named Marie Sklodowska. On November the 7th, 1867, Marie Curie was born in Warsaw, Poland. At that time, the social environment in Poland was turbulent, and the cultural atmosphere was suppressed. Everyone was suffocating, and Marie Curie, who was still a child, was no exception. The excellent family living environment laid an indispensable foundation for Marie Curie to embark on the path of science, and the high-quality family education endowed her with good cultivation and a strong sense of national responsibility. Marie Curie spent her short childhood happily, but in her time, Polish universities did not admit women. Marie wanted to continue her studies. What could she do? She made a deal with her sister. Her sister would go to study in Paris, France first. Marie would stay in the country and work as a tutor to earn money and send it to her sister. This went on for several years. It was not until 1891 that Marie, at the age of 24, finally saved enough money to board a train to Paris and enter the University of Paris, also known as the Sorbonne. When she arrived in Paris, she led a very hard life. The cold in winter was unbearable, so she piled all her clothes on the quilt. Sometimes she fainted from hunger, but a few carrots would help her get through, even under such conditions. She got her physics degree with a top score, and the following year, she also got her mathematics degree. It was also in Paris that she met her future husband, Pierre Curie. Pierre was already a well-known physicist at that time, and the two came together because of their shared interest in scientific research. In 1895, they got married. From then on, Marie became the familiar Madame Curie. After her marriage, Marie Curie became interested in a mineral called uranium. She found that the rays emitted by uranium ore were much stronger than those that uranium itself should emit. This indicated that there must be some unknown element with stronger radioactivity hidden in the ore. At that time, her laboratory conditions were abysmal, just a leaky shed. She and Pierre worked in that shed, bucket by bucket, processing several tons of pitchblende, stirring, boiling and filtering. This process was both exhausting and dangerous, but they persisted for 4 years. In 1898, they successively announced the discovery of 2 new elements. One was polonium, named in honor of Marie's homeland Poland. The other was the later world-famous radium, I. To prove that radium did exist, they spent more than 3 years and finally, in 1902, extracted 0.1 gram of pure radium salt from several tons of ore. In 1903, Marie Curie won her first Nobel Prize in physics, along with her husband Pierre and another scientist, Henri Becquerel, for their research on radioactivity. But did you know? At first, the list of nominees from the French Academy of Sciences only included Pierre and Becquerel, with no mention of Marie. It was Pierre who insisted that Marie be added, thus preventing women from being overlooked once again. But just when their careers were at their peak, tragedy struck. In 1906, Pierre died in a car accident at the age of 47. This was a devastating blow to Marie, but she did not give in. Instead, she took over her husband's teaching position and became the first female professor at the University of Paris. She continued her research, and in 1911, she won her second Nobel Prize, the Nobel Prize in Chemistry, for isolating pure metallic radium. It is still rare today for a person to win 2 Nobel Prizes in the same field. But beneath her great fame, there was also huge controversy just before her second award. Her private life was blown out of proportion by the French media, and even some public opinion demanded that she leave France. Facing this overwhelming malice, Marie Curie once fell into depression, but she still chose to stand up and go to Sweden to receive the award. Her love for science helped her get through the darkest moment of her life. In 1914, World War I broke out. Marie Curie did not hide in her laboratory, but did something very practical. She discovered that X-rays could help doctors locate shrapnel in wounded soldiers' bodies. So she personally assembled mobile X-ray machines, drove to the front lines, and taught soldiers how to operate them. Later, she also trained more radiology nurses. It is estimated that over 1 million wounded soldiers received X-ray examinations from her during the entire war. She truly transformed her research achievements into tools to save lives, due to long-term exposure to radioactive substances in extremely harsh conditions. Marie Curie's health was severely damaged. In 1934, she died of aplastic anemia in France at the age of 66. Later, doctors wrote in her medical records that the changes in her body were completely consistent with the symptoms of long-term exposure to radiation. After her death, she was buried in Paris. In 1995, her remains, along with those of her husband Pierre, were moved into the Pantheon in France, an honor reserved for the country's greatest luminaries. Looking back on her life, you will find that what she left us is not merely those 2 Nobel medals. The concept of radioactivity she proposed directly changed the development direction of physics and chemistry. The polonium and radium she discovered opened up new paths for cancer treatment later on. Moreover, her attitude towards science was extremely selfless. She refused to apply for a patent for the method of extracting radium, saying, "Radium belongs to all mankind." This is the story of Marie Curie, a girl who emerged from poverty with her own talent and almost obsessive diligence, broke through the numerous obstacles of gender and era, and ultimately changed the world with science. Her achievements are enough to make everyone look up at her, while the hardships she has endured and the tenacity she has shown make us feel that she is not so distant from us. Alright? That's all for today's story. If you like this style of video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. See you in the next one.